Welcome back to my channel, Crafting with Holly. I am so glad you're here. We're going to start with this stamp set and thin cut, and I was inspired by these two layouts, but we're going to use pattern 15 from Make It From Your Heart, volume 6, and I really loved that top layout idea. So I'm just going to take all the pieces off from the left side, or excuse me, from the right side, because we're going to start with that first. And I want to show you how to do this ink blending in the top right corner on the linen piece of cardstock. So we're going to use that area. We're going to use the shortbread ink and the blending brush, and it just creates this soft hue of color that will be perfect behind the Troop Life stamp. So I'm loading up the brush, and I'm just using a swirling motion, and you'll notice how velvety smooth this brush is with this ink. And the harder that you press, the more ink it's going to release. It is a really great idea. And I wanted to just show you some ideas that I did using just some scrap paper first. And that's what you just saw. And then I'm just taking the stamp and I'm hovering it over the space to make sure that it has enough ink around it, which it did. So now I'm going to take the toffee ink and squeeze the lid and use the water brush, pick up some color. There's a little bit of water on my brush. I'm squeezing it into the pan of the lid, and then I'm just taking a bone folder and tapping ink onto the page, and it's not giving me enough color, so I'm squeezing it again and using a little bit more water to get that brush really saturated. And now I'm getting some really nice saturation on the page, and you'll see, just look at how fabulous those little sprays of ink are. So now I'm going to attach some ink or some adhesive to my Versamat so I can have my base page in Paprika stick to that Versamat, and then we're going to attach this linen piece, and it is going to go right flush with the left side of the page, and there is a 1/4 of an inch border all the way around. And then from there, I'm taking this wood grain paper from the mix-in paper, and we are going 3/4 of an inch down from the top, and again flush with the left side of the page. And I'm just getting that ink pad out of the way, and now I'm going to go ahead and start attaching the mix-in papers and the Backyard Bliss papers, and this one is number N, and it is going down 1.5 inches from the top, and then everything else will just butt right up against it. And these are all various patterns from the Backyard Bliss paper that's no longer available, but I had so much of it left over and I really wanted to use it up. And it was perfect for these pictures of my girlfriend, her daughter, during her brownie experience. And even though she's not technically a Girl Scout, right? She's just a brownie troop. I thought these papers, these stamp sets and thin cuts were perfect commemorating her time as a brownie and this troop. So I'm just taking these two pieces of pattern paper from the mix-in. I dovetailed them and I'm tucking them under. And I'm going to have to adjust them a little bit because the photo mats don't come down far enough, and you'll see that in just a minute. So these are 2 inches down from the top, again flush with the left side, and they are sage. And then I'm attaching my photos, and there's 1/8 of an inch width apart from these two sizes. And then you'll notice that those banners just aren't high enough, so I'm going to just adjust them and pick them up a little bit and tuck them right under that 3x4 photo. And then I'm going to attach this other picture. Super easy. And now I'm going to take my foam pad from my stamp set. I'm going to place it underneath my paper, and I'm removing that adhesive from the Versamat. And now I'm going to get the pine ink, and that's what we're going to use. And I'm just going to season this stamp real quickly. Just rub it on your hand to release any of the residue that might have been left during the manufacturing. And then I'm loading it up with some ink, and I'm going to line that up and just get it lined up on my Versamat. I want to make sure that it's straight before I press down. Get any ink off of your block before you put it onto your paper. And then I'm just rubbing my fingers all the way around just to make sure that I get some even distribution of that ink. A little bit of the L that didn't come out, but I'm going to actually take the water brush and show you another little trick. Just take that water brush, make sure it has more ink on it than water, and just fill in any of those little spaces. And that worked perfectly. Look at how great that looks. So now I'm going to take the Girl Scout and attach that with some foam tape, and that's going to go right to the right side of the photo. And I just used the markers to color in Scout. I thought that was really cute. And then I'm just attaching those after I remove the backing. And then I'm going to take those two images, the compass and that fleur-de-lis, and put some foam tape on the back of those, and then attach those right next to the Troop Life. They are the perfect complement to this title page. And then once I get those where I want them, I'm going to start working on the left page. I'm just moving things off to the side. I like to have the page that I've completed next to the page that I'm working on so that I can make sure that everything matches equally. So we first need to do our splattering and our ink blending. So I'm bringing in Shortbread again, and this time we're going to do the bottom left quadrant of the left page. And again, eyeball it based on where you're going to place things, and it actually worked out perfectly because I was about 2 inches from the bottom, and that's exactly what you needed. So I'm just wiping off my brush on a piece of scratch paper and doing the same thing again with my water brush and the ink pad in Toffee and my bone folder, just using that to tap color just up and down that left side, and it turned out perfectly. And now I'm going to attach the linen onto the Paprika, and this time it's going to go to the far right flush, and again 1/4 inch border around. And now I'm going to move in the right page so I can line up this mix-in paper, the wood grain paper, and it is a perfect complement to this backyard paper collection. And then again, we're going to start 1.5 inches from the top. And I'm just using my Versamat to line that up and attach that pattern paper flush with the wood grain mix-in paper, and then everything else is going to butt right up against each other. Makes it really easy when these patterns are so easy to follow. And then I'm going to dovetail those 2 coordinating strips of paper just like I did on the right side using my non-stick scissors. I'm sorry that you can't see that in view. I thought that my hand was in view, but it wasn't. And then I'm just taking the tape runner and attaching some adhesive, and now I'm going to match it up exactly the way it was on the right side. And then that way when I take my photo mats, everything should cover up perfectly. So I'm going to go ahead and just start taking my pictures and attaching them onto the Sage cardstock photo mats. 4x4 sizes and 3x4s. I love being able to use my Epson printer to print my photos exactly the right size that I need. I need to refill my tape runner right now, and it's so great that the Close to My Heart adhesive is so easy to replenish when you need to. So I'm just lining these pages up because these photo mats are 1/8 inch apart from both sides. So I'm just lining those up with the right page, and then I'll come down to the bottom and do the same thing. And then this is my journaling box, and I have created a video on how to do this journaling and how to do coloring, and I've left both of those links in the comments section, so make sure that you go back and watch those. They're really great tips for creating perfect lines for journaling, and also really simple, easy coloring suggestions. And then I'm taking foam tape to pop on the back of the tent and the backpack, and those are going to go right over there in the left side of the page. And I noticed that I had a little too much foam tape on the backpack, so I only put it down on the bottom. And I'm just trimming off the foam tape for that s'more skewer, and the same for the fireplace. And those are going to go directly onto my journaling box. And I love how you can use these images to accent your journaling space. And you can even use journaling strips underneath Troop Life, which will be a perfect space for my girlfriend to keep telling the story of her daughter and her brownie troop. So now I'm just getting some clear sparkles and bitty sparkles, and I'm going to use that to just accent the page. And those come on so nicely with the nonstick scissors. And I'm just sprinkling them around the page using a combination of both the regular clear sparkles and the bitty sparkles. They just draw your eye right to the pictures and just add that little sparkle and shine. And since I didn't use glitter paper on this layout, I thought the sparkles were just a perfect accent for this page. And there you have it. We've got 2 adorable pages now for my girlfriend to commemorate her daughter's brownie troop. And I had a great time. Thank you. Don't forget, remember to click the like button, comment down below, and don't forget to subscribe to this channel. Thank you so much for joining me today. I can't wait to catch you on the next video.